Am I the a-hole for fleeing the scene after hitting my sister's parked car, knowing our dad is going to pay for the damage? It's been a very long week and I am so stressed, and I am posting this as sort of a steam valve. Basically, I have finals this week, and I have a class that I thought my advisor signed me up for as a blow-off class, so I hasn't even gone in months, and then I found out I actually need this course as prereq for next year. So I have been trying to learn a semester worth of material in 3 days and have not slept. Today was the final, and I accidentally smashed into the side of my sister's car on the way out of the driveway. It didn't help that she parked like an idiot. It did a lot of damage to both our cars, but I was running really late, so I just drove on. When I turned my phone back on after the test, my family group text was going crazy trying to figure out who had hit Eva's car. By some crazy coincidence, our ring cams had stopped working, so even the police had come out. I chimed in and said that I was sorry I was the one who hit the car. I tried to explain about my final, but no one cared. They are so mad at me. When I got home, I tried to explain it's not a big deal because our dad pays our insurance, so since it's the same insurance, it's a write-off and it won't cost us anything. My sister was crying, screaming at me that she loved that car and had taken such good care of it. I said it would only be a matter of weeks before it was covered in smelly pink drink cups like her old car. She said, "You are such a effing a-hole," and stormed off to her room. My dad won't see it my way either and was even more pissed when he saw all the damage to my car. He said he didn't want to hear another word about my final, and he has never been more disappointed in one of his kids in his entire life and needs a break from me. I keep trying to explain it's not a big deal, but no one will listen to me. I am still happy I passed my test, so I'm not going to let them rain on my parade. So, am I the a-hole? Am I the a-hole for telling my sister she was unfit to take care of our nephew and niece? I'll give background context first. Me, 29 male, and my sister, 34 female, have never gotten along with each other. Since I was a kid, I've lived with my grandparents, because our parents didn't want more kids than my sister, so we didn't grow up together, and the times we did see each other were short and just holidays. She is a cop, single. I run my late grandparents' business and date my girlfriend, 30 female, for 6 years. We live together. Now, the actual problem. I'm not sure what happened with my cousin. Her kids are technically my third-grade cousins, but I call them nephew and niece. But she got into drugs. She has 2 kids with different men that never showed. I'll call them Max and Sarah. Max is 13. He is rude and seems always at edge of anything. He has been suspended from his school multiple times, gets into fights often, and already smokes. Sarah is 7. She is a shy kid, but she still is young. But she seems in a better mental condition than Max is. Our cousin recently overdosed and was sent to the hospital. She is fine, but police took the kids as she was seen unfit to parent them. So we were contacted, and yesterday I met with my sister and my girlfriend to discuss it. It was my first time seeing my sister in long time, and my girlfriend's first time. We talked about the kids, and my sister spoke like she had assumed she was going to take them in, saying that her living costs were going up and she was going to need our help financially. I asked what she meant. And she said how she didn't expect an unmarried couple to take in 2 kids from a troubled home, that she was a much better fit to parent them, and that social services would trust her way more because she is a police officer. I was still confused, and said how she was going to work a full-time job and take care of them, then saying how my girlfriend is an art teacher and I work mostly from home, and we were much better for it. She laughed, saying that she didn't trust me for it, that we could split in any time, and that if I couldn't take care of my grandparents, how was I supposed to take care of Max and Sarah? For context, my grandparents passed away naturally when I was 20. They were already quite old. I'm sure I was visibly annoyed, and told her how she didn't know a thing about me or my life, never showed interest on being a sister for me, how she shouldn't talk about my relationship stability if she could barely keep a boyfriend, and how she sounded exactly like our mother. She told me to do whatever I wanted, and to see how I was going to be doing with them, and left after that. My girlfriend stayed quiet all the time, and then called me out on my behavior. We slept on different rooms. Today she was feeling better, but we still talked, and she said how I should apologize. I don't know if I should. I talked with a friend on the phone, and he said that while she insulted me too, I shouldn't have done that. Am I the a-hole? My 39 male brother 20 lives with his girlfriend about an hour drive away from me and my wife. My brother and I have never been close due to the age difference. Our parents had me young and then him later in life. He was always the spoiled one who got whatever he wanted. We see each other on holidays and special occasions, but other than that we might talk on the phone once or twice a month. Last night I had to work late and could not be reached by phone. When I got off, I noticed that I had 2 missed calls from my brother and a few from my wife, but it was already close to 1 p.m., so I chose to just drive home and not call and possibly wake someone up. I walk into the house and see my wife, 41 female, and brother on the couch playing Mario Kart. When I walk in, they both say hi and go back to their game. I went to the bedroom to shower and, frankly, just sleep. I was exhausted. My wife comes in a few minutes later, and I ask her why my brother was there. She said he called her because he and his girlfriend had gotten into a pretty heated argument, and he just needed to get away from the situation for a little while he figured out what he was going to do. They only have 1 car, and it's in the girlfriend's name, so he couldn't take it. Apparently, he tried to call me, and when I answer, he called her and she went and picked him up an hour away, even though she hates driving at night. They also went out to dinner before coming home. I told her that I find it odd that she would pick up my brother and take him to dinner, just because he got into an argument with his girlfriend, that he is an adult and needed to work it out. She just rolled her eyes at me and said he would be staying in the spare room as long as he needed, that I was acting weird, and that he is my brother and has no idea why it was such a huge deal that he was here. I told her that if someone is staying at my house, especially my family, I should be the one who decides that he had no right to call her, that he should have waited for me to call him back and would be talking to him in the morning. She told me to deal with it and grow up, that he was always welcome here. My wife is now mad at me, and I am stuck with my brother in the house for who knows how long until he figures out his life. We already have 2 teens. I don't need another kid here. I stand by what I said. My brother doesn't need to be here, but my wife is still mad at me today. Am I the a-hole for saying that? Am I wrong for telling a guy's girlfriend about his parents? Albert, 21, is best friends with my 18 female, older brother, 21. The guy is basically like a brother to me. Always looked up to him when I was growing up. Last month he started dating someone, 21 female, and it became clear he hasn't told her about his father. Albert's father regularly cheated on and emotionally abused his mother until they divorced. Deadbeat father afterwards, never showing up once. I thought that she has the right to know, since I remember reading somewhere that personality traits are heritable. Not to mention his dad was around until he was 13, so Albert might have picked up on bits of his behavior even though he hasn't displayed them yet. He got very upset at me for telling her and told me it's not my place to share his experiences. My brother also told me I crossed a boundary and should apologize.